I am so excited to be back for this video because we hit 1,000 subscribers. I literally am blown away with how fast this channel is growing. I'm so impressed, I'm so happy, I'm so honored, and just thank you so much for sticking around and being here and commenting and loving the videos and giving me more ideas for videos and just being really engaging with the whole community. I greatly appreciate you all. The goal here was to provide tutorials and real life walkthroughs and make it easier and more fun to understand and get started making money online so that anybody can just get in there, get started, and feel confident and have fun doing it without all that stress. Ugh, we don't want that. In honor of 1,000 subscribers, today I'm sharing with you my #1 digital product that sells every single day, multiple times a day, on multiple different platforms. Let's get started, guys. Let's go. My #1 digital product that I sell is tumbler sublimation wraps, guys. I can't even tell you how many of these I sell. I sell them every day on multiple different platforms. Here we are looking at just design bundles, and you can see over here, these are my sales. You can see the date right over here on the right, and these are all tumbler wrap sublimation bundles. So I have a large bundle right up here. My men's huge skinny tumbler bundle is actually my #1 seller on all platforms. But tumbler sublimation wraps are by far my largest seller. And I have products ranging from SVGs to stickers, printables. I have all sorts of different things. I said my biggest seller are these 20-ounce skinny tumbler wraps. I do primarily only size for 20-ounce skinnies. I don't make tapered designs. A lot of people do. I just prefer not to. So it's totally up to you. But what I'm going to show you today is how you can easily make a tumbler wrap design with photos included. Now what we're looking at is we're looking at how I display my tumbler wraps. You just saw them in their final form of my listing photo, but this is what it starts out as. And so you can see right here I have 9.3 by 8.2 at 300 dpi. So that's what we're going to start off with. And we are going to go to a new canvas in Affinity Designer. And I am going to be showing you guys 2 different programs today. Because not everybody has Affinity Designer, I'm going to also show you how to create a tumbler, the same exact thing, in Photopea. That's Photopea. Okay, we're going to do it in Photopea as well, and that is a free program that anybody can access online. So the first thing we want to do is we want to set it to inches, and we're going to do 9.3 by 8.2. Now this is the size that primarily is going to work for almost all 20-ounce skinny tumblers. Now there will be some people out there that are wanting something a little different, and in that case they can resize it very easily in whatever program they're using. So my advice is if you're making 20-ounce skinny tumbler designs like this, 9.3 by 8.2, it's going to work. All right, so from here what I want to show you is I want to show you a way to create these with pictures. These are the ones that are really popular. They're a little bit more difficult for people to make. Not everybody knows how to do this. In a previous video, I showed you guys how to create a standard tumbler wrap, just like I showed you just now in my store. In this video, we're taking it a step further and we're going to do it to where there's photo cutouts. So let me show you what I mean by that. Go to a photo tumbler wrap. And these are the types of tumblers that we are going to create. So you can see right here, here's one right here. It's a good example. And what you do is you will sell the tumbler wrap just like this, except it won't have any pictures in it. Okay, so let's show you right here. This is what it's going to look like. These are super popular because this way people can customize them themselves, or if they're going to be tumblers, they can offer this with a customization of their customers or their clients' photos inside. So they're highly sought after, and I'm going to show you exactly how to make them. Okay, so the first thing we want to do obviously is to have our canvas. And I always start off by going to document setup and making sure that it's a transparent background. The reason for this is mainly for myself because sublimation printers do not print white. If we had this in a white background, it would be difficult for us to remember that we are basically what we're putting this on is going to be a white cup. Okay, its end result is going to be sublimating onto a white cup, so we need to know what it's going to look like before it goes on the white cup. And we want to make sure that we're showing our customers exactly what they're going to be getting. In my description, I always state this listing photo is showing on the use of a white cup. That way if they see white, they understand that on the actual PNG they're going to get, it's transparent, it's not white. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the rectangle tool right here, and we're just going to draw a rectangle the same size as the canvas, the same size as the tumbler. Okay, looks like we went down just a little bit. Okay, just like that. From here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it black just so that we can see it easier on the video. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and let's use a fun shape. I'm going to use a heart. And I'm just going to grab the heart and then I'm going to pull it and get it exactly the way that I want. I'm going to change that color here to a different color so that I can see the difference. And I'm just going to color it white for now so that I know where it's going to be on the cup. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to decide where do we want these hearts to go. Now keep in mind wherever these hearts are, that's where the photo is going to be in the very end result. Okay, so keep that in mind when you are designing this. So let's say we want a photo here and then maybe right here. Here. Okay, so maybe we want something like that, and we're going to go ahead and even these out by going to the alignment tool. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing with these top hearts as well. Go to the alignment tool. Perfect. Okay, so now we have them somewhat where we would like them. Let's see if we can move this to where it's more in the center of that one. Okay, so now we can push the Alt key and we can drag these ones down. And then let's do the same with these ones. We're going to select both by holding Shift and then selecting both of them. Holding the Alt key down, we're going to drag. Perfect. Okay. And then let's go ahead and do one more. Select both of these, holding the Alt key, and we're going to move this down. And I know we're going off the page a bit. We are going to fix that. Okay, so what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to group each section together. So these ones, I'm going to select both, and then I'm going to do Control G. I'm going to select these two, and I'm going to do Control G. If Control G is a difficult thing for you to do, just select them both, and then you can right-click and then go to Group. And I'll do that one more time. Hold the Shift key down, select both, and then we'll group. Okay, so the reason I did that is so that we can easily grab and move them around. So I'm just going to move these around, up and up. Okay, so now let's go ahead and even these out a bit. So I'm going to grab these ones and these ones by holding the Shift key again. And we are just going to select the center alignment tool. And then the same with these ones. We're going to select these three. And I'm going to do the left align, the left align. There we go. Now what I want to do, guys, is I want to evenly distribute the hearts. So I'm going to select each one. and I'm going to go up to the alignment again, and I'm going to select this one right here where it says space vertically. And now everything is perfectly lined up. Okay, now with everything selected, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move them so that they look nice on the tumbler. Perfect. Okay, now this is going to seem a little frustrating, but what we want to do is we want to ungroup them. And the reason for that is because the next step we can't do unless we ungroup them. Just make sure that you don't move them anywhere. So we're going to go to Arrange, or we're going to do Ungroup on every single one. Just select, Ungroup. Now, there might be a different way of doing things. Always understand, I'm not saying this is the only way to do things. I'm just telling you this is how I do things. So just keep that in mind. If you find a different way that works better for you, do that. Okay, so for our next step, what we're going to be doing now is basically using these hearts as cookie cutters, essentially. We're going to cut them out of the background. That black background, we're going to cut them out. Okay, so we're going to select the heart, and then we're going to select the black by holding the Shift key. You can see which ones are selected over here in the Layers panel. And then from there, we're going to go right up here where it says Subtract. And we're going to subtract it. Now you can see that we have these this checkered background, and that's showing us, remember we started with a blank, clear, transparent canvas. Okay? And we're going to repeat that process for each heart. If for any reason this happens to you, this is totally normal. Sometimes it just does this. What you'll want to do is you'll notice that for some reason your hearts have gone underneath the black. And what we want to do is we just want to select, if you don't see your shapes or your hearts anymore, all you have to do is right click on the black and then go to Arrange and then go to Move to Back. And now everything's back to normal again. Okay, so we're just going to keep going. Okay, so now we've gotten all of our hearts cut out, and it probably looks a little bit silly right now, but we're going to make it look super cute. So now what we want to do is basically create the tumbler itself. Now these heart cutouts, remember, are where the pictures are going to go, and I'll show you an idea of what I'm talking about in just a little bit. So what I would do is I would either do maybe a cute ombre. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. To do an ombre, all you have to do is go to Fill, go to Gradient. We are choosing hearts, so let's choose maybe a lovey color, maybe like a pink or red. Oh, that's cute. That corally color is cute. And then we can go and click on this white color right here, and you'll see that it changes here. So we just select on that white color section, and then we just change it to whatever color we want. So I'm going to go ahead and go with this. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. If you don't like the direction of the ombre, for instance, when these meet together in a tumbler, it would have that line. If you don't want that line, that separation of the purple and the pink, all you'd have to do is select right over here that Fill tool, select it, and what you'll see is these little dots here. And all you have to do is grab it and move it, and you'll see as you move it, the direction of the color changes. So let's move it from the top to the bottom here. There we go. So let's say we like that one a lot better. Okay? So now when you go to create the tumbler, what the customer will do, or what the next person will do for their customers, is they will input a picture. And so what they would have in the end would be, they would buy this from you, they would upload it into their design program, and then let's say their client or themselves have photos, they would put their photos in here. Let me give you an example of what that looks like real quick so that you kind of put it all together. Okay, so let's say they were putting this picture. Okay, this is my pig Penny. Everybody say hi, Penny. All right, and let's say they have this picture. What they would do is they would grab this picture and they would just right click, go to arrange, and this is in their design program, so they could be using anything. Okay, and then they would just move the picture. Okay, obviously they would need to crop it because now it's going over this one, but the end user will know exactly how to do all of this. And so then when it is on the tumbler, these pictures will all be underneath. Super cute, super easy. Another thing to do, guys, would be to, let me get rid of my little penny there. Another great thing to do would be to reuse your digital papers. I've been talking about this a lot in videos where you should always reuse your products as many times as you can. So let me give you an example of how you could do that with something like this. You could have a digital paper that you've already created and that you love, and now you have hearts on this, and you're like, oh gosh, that digital paper I made for Valentine's Day would be so cute on this. I can make a whole other product. So then you would just go grab that. Let me show you. And all you do is you'll just grab it and pull it all the way. And there you go. Then you now have a totally different tumbler idea. Let me show you what it will look like in a mock-up so you can get an idea of what it'll look like on the tumbler. And then we're going to go make another design in Photopea. Also, when saving, guys, don't forget to save it as a PNG. You want a PNG file, not a JPEG. We are just using Placeit today so that I can give you guys a quick look at what it would look like on the tumbler itself. Here we go. Perfect. Okay, so now remember, when your customer gets it, they're not going to be putting it on a cup like this. They're going to be putting their own photos in it. Just like I showed you with my Penny the pig on there, they're going to be having their clients' pictures or their own pictures, depending on who they are, and they're going to be putting these in there. So super easy and super cute. Okay, now guys, we are headed over to Photopea, and I have already created the canvas for this, but you do it the exact same way that we did it in Affinity Designer. You go up to File, New, and then right where it says inches, right here, you'll make sure it says inches just like it does, 9.3 by 8.2. You'll do 9.3 by 8.2. Make sure that it's 300 dpi. And then right here is where you'll choose the background, and again, transparent, okay? And then you'll just hit create. All right, so here we are, and we are going to go over similar stuff. It's a little bit different in Photopea, but again, Photopea is a free program that any of you guys can use. Now, the downside to having a program like this, since it is free, is you're going to have these ads, which I just find to be a huge pain in the butt. So that's why I just chose to do the one-time charge over at Affinity Designer. It's just the best deal. However, if you're just starting out, you don't want to invest in something, then this is a perfectly good program and it works just fine. The same first step, and that is to grab the rectangle shape, and we are just going to make a giant rectangle. And we're just going to make the rectangle the same size as the canvas. There we go. And it is black, that's fine. Okay, and then we're going to choose our shape, just like we did the last time. In this case, I think I'm going to go with just the regular old rectangle, because we did hearts in the last one, so let's do rectangle on this one. And we're just going to create a rectangle here. There we go. And now we're going to change the color. And you can do that by double clicking right here in the layers panel, and the color picker will pop up, and we'll just choose blue for now. And all we're going to do is we're going to hold down the Alt key, and we're going to copy and drag it over just like we do every other time. I think I do want to stagger these just like we staggered the last ones. I thought that looked nice. And we'll just keep doing that, holding the Alt key down and moving them over. Now I'm going to select two of these by holding Shift down just like we did in the last time. and I'm going to even these out. This time what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select all of them. This time what I'm going to do is I'm going to even these out and evenly distribute going vertically and horizontally. So we just do that by clicking equal gaps. And then we're going to move them over right where I want them to go. And I'm just going to hold the Alt key down and then I'm going to move it down and we're just basically copying and pasting. Perfect. And you can already tell that's completely lined up. So put them roughly about where you would like them to go. And I think that's going to look good on the tumblers. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that. So now what we want to do is the same process we did in Affinity Designer to cut out the shapes just like little cookie cutters, except they do it a little bit differently in Photopea. So, and in this case, what we want to do is we're just going to select everything, go to the Layers panel, combine shapes, and then subtract. So in case you didn't see that, we're going to do it again. Okay. We grabbed everything, so we selected everything. You can see everything is selected in the Layers panel. And then we went up to Layer, Combine Shapes, and then Subtract. So it's nice that you can do it in one step instead of having to do it individually like you do in Infinity Designer. Much quicker. All right, so now we've already gotten that main step already done. So from here, you could maybe pick a color. So we could do different colors if we wanted. We could choose or we can even put a digital paper in here just like we did the last time. So let's go ahead and grab another file. We're going to go to File, Open in Place. Okay, and then let's do this glitter flake digital paper that I have. And what we want to do is to be able to put it inside the shape that we just created, what we have to do is we have to go to the Layers panel, right click, and then go to Clipping Mask. And there we go. It's already ready for us. Now I'm going to go ahead and save this just like we did before and pop it over in our mock-up so we can see what this one would look like. Again, remember the customer will obviously be putting a picture in the background here so that it did look fully done. But for the sake of seeing what it would look like on a tumbler, let's go take a look. To save, all you do is go to File, Export As, and then PNG. You'll see here, this is where you will name it, and then save. Since it's a more metallic looking glitter tumbler, I went ahead and chose a mock-up that has more of a shine to it. So let's go ahead and pop that in. There we go. So there we go. That's our next tumbler so there we go. That'll look super cute. You can add all different types of things. They can put their pictures behind it. They can add text. A really great, awesome tumbler wrap. So there you go, guys. That's a really fun, awesome tumbler wrap design that you guys can all create. You can get really creative, do different shapes, do different styles, put in some digital paper, just go nuts with it. It's so much fun. You could do a Mother's Day tumbler bundle. You could do Father's Day tumbler bundles. You could do holiday tumbler bundles. There's just so many different options. You can even do different shapes. Let's say you're doing a kid's cup. You could maybe do dinosaur shapes or there's just so many different possibilities, you guys. So have fun with this. If you guys do create a tumbler like this, please let me know. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I love reading your comments and I love replying to every single one. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.